Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the round of 16 draw for the Clubs Cup. Michael Tiaras joined by none other than Joseph Lamptey. Joseph, welcome once again.
Thank you.
Another privilege to draw the round of 16 of the Clubs Cup. Very quickly, we're going to do an overview of the match results that happened over the past 4 weeks before we come back on the 8th and 15th of September for this round of 16. Some very interesting clashes, to say the least, Joseph.
There were some interesting clashes and great results, I would say.
Great results as well. Not just that, and also not a lot of games that ended up blowing out too far, which was good. A lot of competitive games.
There were a couple of upsets down the road as well. So
that's right. Game day one saw FC Melbourne versus Point Cook. That one ended 11-2 for FC Melbourne. The second game of the night, very close. It was a very close first night.
It was.
Paran FC and Vermont. Vermont winning 3-4. That one went pretty close to the end there, but Paran just unlucky not to get the equaliser to maybe get themselves to golden goal there. The one after that, North Melbourne and Thomastown, two teams who faced off a couple times throughout the season before North Melbourne were promoted. They won 4-3. And the last game, the first big upset of the Cup, the Western Wolves knocking out Moreland 4-3 in a very fiery contest, that's for sure.
It was very fiery indeed. We saw
Something
some red card.
But that's what it is. We'll move on from there. The game day 2 saw Braybrook and Western City, a renewal of a rivalry of both teams in League 2. And Braybrook coming out the winners 3-1 there. Western City probably a little bit disappointed that they couldn't get the result that they would have liked out of it. But that's the magic of the Cup as well, really. We're expecting these things to happen. Northcote and Thornbury. Northcote got themselves out to a good lead early. They won that match 8-4. Followed up Richmond and Metropolitan. Now, this one was it was weird to think that Metropolitan were winning 5-0 at one point.
That's right.
And it ended 8-6. Richmond did put in a good fight, just not enough to get themselves back in it. And the last game, Campbellfield and Brunswick, a few boys that have played together before, whether it's here or somewhere else, have ended up against each other. Brunswick got the first goal.
I don't think that's a rivalry. That's more of a family affair.
It was a bit of a family affair, but Brunswick got the first goal, and there was a little bit of hope for them, but Campbellfield showed their class for that one. Game day 3, Kensington Eagles and South Melbourne. Another close one, 2-4 South Melbourne coming out there. Both teams faced off in the league prior, and it was another close result. The big rematch from SFV before that, we had Carlton Altona.
Yep.
And if you're looking at the Clubs Cup results, it says 0-0, but that one went to penalties and had no goal scored in the golden goal. So that's 6 minutes, there was no goals. Ridiculous result, was 5-all. Carlton winning that one 1-0 on penalties in the end. Pascoe Melbourne Fury, it took both sides a bit of time to get into that one, and Melbourne Fury fought hard but just couldn't find the result, the goal that they needed. And Paco got the first one, got the second one, and ended up winning 3-0. And it took them a while, but it happened there. Fitzroy versus Melbourne Arcu, we'd seen that one
opening round of the season.
Opening round of SFV, and the result was a lot more different. This one ended up 5-0 for Fitzroy over Arcu. And obviously last night, if you tuned in, you would have seen Hume versus new team Ravenhall Raptors in State League 2. They started in the Premier League. They were promoted up when a spot was opened up. Again, scoreline probably doesn't reflect how that match went. Ravenhall were in it for a long period of time. I give credit to both keepers of the match. And a keeper who played outfield who somehow got a hat-trick. I can't believe it. It was unbelievable. The next game after that, Melbourne Uni and Yarra All-Stars. And for a long period of time throughout the match, Melbourne Uni were winning it. And it took a last-minute goal by Yarra to sneak their way through into the round of 16. They won that one 6-5. Telemarine Rmit was a bit more of a controlled performance from Telemarine. Saw Rmit only get the one, and it was fairly late. They did push, but just not enough time. 3-1 the score there. And the last one, if you were watching, it was full of, obviously...
It was a good game.
It was a good game, but it was also full of some technical issues, which, again, we can't control these things. It is what it is. But Preston winning that one 10-6. Now, same as last time here, ladies and gentlemen. You're seeing it behind you is how it's going to be. No seeding, none of that, no pathway still. It's just going to be straight up. We're going to pick your name out, and we're going from there. Joseph, if you can do the honours, you're going to drop this.
So as
bowl.
usual, as you can see on the screen, not quite peeling. So I'm just going to put it on here. Please help me so it doesn't go on the floor.
Yeah. Okay. Don't drop one this time, please.
So round of 32. Now we're on round of 16. Of course, 32 teams started. We've now got 16 teams in this current round. So
5 serious futsal teams left in the comp.
That's right.
So knocked out after they played some SFV only matches. A few other teams knocked out. So, look, there's still some League 2 teams in here. There's still some League 1 teams. There's quite a few championship teams as well. So, it'll be interesting to see where these matchups take us. Joseph, you'll be drawing the home team, and I'll be drawing the away team here.
Without much wasting time, we've got a couple of minutes left. So, the first ball from myself. And it doesn't necessarily mean that's the game one.
That's
right. It's going to be...
the games are spread across the 2 weeks. It's not game one. Couldn't be anyone.
So, for the home team for this one, we've got number 3.
Number 3, FC Carlton Heart. The Carlton Heart had a very tough game against Altona. Let's see who they face. Now, I said yesterday for a laugh, I had Elias and Nicholas both in behind the office. I said, can you imagine if I draw Fitzroy versus Carlton first up? So, let's see who we have got.
And just to remind everyone, these balls were prepared by the commissioner, Assistant Commissioner Nathan.
We have no say in it whatsoever.
We have no say in it.
This one is officially, this one's number 6. We have clear definition. This is 6. It is Hume FC. And if anything to go off from the playoffs, this one could be a ripper of a game, that's for sure. Next game.
Hume is actually on top of their game in championship.
That's
I believe
right.
they first.
5 out of 6 wins. They've only lost the 1 game so far. They are sitting top 3 points clear at the moment.
Beautiful. Number 11 for the next game.
Number 11 is, when we get there, it will come up shortly for us. Number 11, Preston FC. Their game against Fitzroy last night. Very tricky one. In the end, their opponent is number 7. Number 7 is Metropolitan. We're getting another clash of teams playing in the same league. I believe they're playing this week, or they've played, I can't remember. There's been that many rounds. But I'm sure it'll be a close affair. Metropolitan have been on their game. Billy Attic in goals. Hamza Attic putting in some good performances. And Tony Stilevsky really surprising people here.
So as you can see, we are quite not aware of what the seedings are. So we're waiting on the screen to display. So that should tell you the genuineness of the draw.
That's right, absolutely.
For the next game, the home team, we've got here as number 8.
Number 8, North Melbourne FC. They're sitting in the middle of the table. They've got a couple of results, not had a couple of results, and had a very tight game to get through. They will be taking on team number 5. Number 5 is Fitzroy. And there's one old face at North Melbourne that will be accustomed to that Fitzroy team. That's John Nico. He gets to face his old side. Interesting to see how that one will go for both teams.
For the next game, the home team is number 13.
13, Telemarine
boys.
In League 1. Had to go through the playoffs and managed to survive. They face team number 12. And it's South Melbourne, and that one could be a good clash of the 2 teams in the lower leagues as we'll move over to the next side of the bracket.
And the home team, number, looks like 14.
14.
Interesting, we've got 13, 12, and now 14.
We've managed to pick them out together. That's unbelievable. So far, we've also seen that 2 of the 5 SFV teams are out.
That's right.
So you never know. Vermont, your opponents are number 9. Number 9 is Northcote. Another one.
Another championship
we're
draw.
Have championship versus championship. Would you believe it? It's looking like in these.
Still got 4 SFV teams left in the draw.
3. There's 3. So there's any chance that one of them could be playing each other here.
The next one, we've got the number 15.
15, the Western Wolves. What a clash they've had. And they've had a bit of an up-and-down season so far, so it'll be interesting to see.
Well, last week they still managed to, once
That's
again,
right. They
upset Moreland.
They got their one-ups on Moreland this time round. But they are Moreland's bogey side. They did get them one time last season. They're playing team number 4, FC Melbourne Athletic. And that would be a tough task, but FC Melbourne Athletic, a little bit more form. Still two.
I'm just going to close my eyes and go for one here.
Here we go. It's either you or me here the way it's going with this serious futsal team. Let's see.
Number 2.
Number 2, Campbellfield FC. They're out on the court warming up right now as we speak, as Melbourne Arku for their game. This is interesting.
It's going to be the next.
If it's Pasca Vale, I'll tell you what, Theo Lascaris won't be happy. I can tell you that for a fact.
Well, we
he
don't
won't
know.
be happy. It is number 10.
Number 10.
Would you believe it?
It is indeed Pascal Vale.
Would you believe it? Another series futsal matchup. Campbellfield
You can
versus
have that
Pascal
one.
Vale. I'm having this one, right. The last two teams in here. Let's get them out of the way nice and quick.
So for the home team, for the last game, we have good old number 1.
Number 1. Braybrook. And would you believe it? The last number there, number 16.
Number 16.
1 and 16. The
1
Yarra
and
All-Stars. Another Championship versus League 2 matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the draw right then and there. I mean, it starts to get to that point where these games, they're no longer predictable. You know, we've seen a lot of really good clashes. We're going to see 2 championship clashes. We're going to see another SFV only clash. League 1 versus League 2. League 1 versus Championship. Series versus Championship. And another series versus Championship. Again, a lot of games where we haven't seen these teams maybe face each other for a while. We saw Carlton and Hume. The last time the Western Wolves played Melbourne Athletic was way back when.
That's right.
Before we now have the Series Futsal Arena. So, look, a lot of interesting clashes. Reminder that these games are being played on the 8th and 15th of September. So, got a little bit of a break in between for teams to not worry about it too much and, you know, focus on the league for a couple of weeks and then we get back into it. But
so it'll be the same as we go. So 20 minutes each half.
That's right, yeah.
As you can see on the screen, we've got if draw, we've got 2-3 minutes extra time with a golden goal. So whoever scores,
if someone scores in the 6 minutes you've got, otherwise we go to the 9-meter mark as we saw with the Carlton game. Ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for the draw. Joseph, as always, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Makes life easy having someone to bounce off of with everything and reffing with you for 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, we've got 4 more games to go now.
That's right. Do tune in to Series Futsal Victoria Men's. The first clash is Campbellfield versus Melbourne RQ. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. See you later.